So let's take a step back. So what's that look like over the course of a year? So at the beginning of the year, a strategic plan is created, and oftentimes you have some routine check-ins, maybe quarterly. What actually happens is the plane takes off. You start having disruptions that were unexpected, right? A pandemic hits a month and a half into the plan. Then there's inflation, then there's turnover, then there's supply chain disruption, then there's customer churn. So all these disruptions throw the company off of the course that it wanted to be on. So you got this goal that it wanted to be at after about a year. And what companies tend to do is by the halfway into the year, so much is going wrong and so much has changed. It's like, what plan, what strategy? We're just, going to get right into survival mode because, everything is changing. Unfortunately, this same pattern when it comes to strategy execution just repeats itself over and over every year. Some of the outcomes are strategy or projects never quite get implemented. Projects get done in some cases, but the results aren't realized or sustained. The other problem is that all the resources to get from point A to point B are spent before anything is learned. All the time is spent, all the resources is spent, so you're sort of stuck with whatever you got. Some of the root causes of this: lack of flexibility to disruptions, lack of agility, lack of focus on what's really most important to improve at any point in time, and a low sense of urgency on executing projects, especially when you start having unexpected events and you're dealing with what we sometimes call the whirlwind, or day-to-day firefighting or operations just kind of throws you off course. The consequences of poor strategy execution are massive, right? We see the headlines every day now. Amazon just laid off 10,000 people. Facebook laid off 11,000 people. Bird is laying off 23% of its workforce. Ford is laying off 3,000 workers. You may say this is just part of doing business, but no business wants these types of headlines. This is never a good thing. The root cause of all this, though, is that these companies are building these forecasts. They're making a ton of assumptions. They're going out and putting together these massive budgets, maybe raising money, maybe doing some type of sales activity to raise money. They're going and hiring all these people based on this forecast and then getting into it, and reality strikes and the forecast ends up being wrong. Now they got to go out and disrupt all these people's lives. And the real unfortunate thing about all this is that it's absolutely preventable.